Hello everyone, welcome back to another Stitches and Scribbles tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite projects that I've been doing recently called a soap saver. A soap saver is a little drawstring bag made with a cotton or scrubby yarn that you use to hold a bar of soap. And it acts as both the washcloth and the container for the soap. I really like these because I hate when bars of soap get down to the last little bits and you can't really do anything with them, but this keeps them nice and contained. So you just leave the bar of soap in there, rub it to suds it up under the water, and it works like a washcloth while keeping the soap inside. The method I'm going to be using today to show you how to make this is Tunisian crochet, which is something I have not previously shown on my channel. So if you are new to Tunisian crochet, this is going to be a perfect tutorial to try it out for the first time. If you don't have the materials to Tunisian crochet or are not interested in learning it right now, you can still follow the same basic directions and shaping to make this project, and you can do it with either knit or crochet. Let's get started. So when you start your project, you're going to need cotton yarn and a Tunisian hook in the size of your choosing. The smaller the hook is, the less space you're going to have between your stitches. If you want more of a lacy pattern, you can go bigger, but I find that for washcloths, I like the stitch pattern to be pretty tight. I'm going to start with a slip knot, and you are going to chain stitch double the width of what you want your bag to be. That's 20 stitches so far, so I think I'm going to make mine 30. Like that. And you can check your width by folding it in half to check if it's still the width you want. So 30 stitches I think is going to be perfect for my project today. So now we're going to start our first row of Tunisian simple stitch. So when you do simple stitch in Tunisian, you want to go into that kind of loop on the chain that sticks out in the middle. So not the V-shape ones on the front, but that loop in the back. So you're going to insert your crochet hook into that little bump and pull through a loop. This is where Tunisian crochet is different than regular crochet because we're going to leave all of these stitches on our needle, and that's why you need the really, really long hook to do this. But you're going to keep doing that all the way down your line. So insert the hook, pull up a loop, pull through. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, and you keep going like that. So you should eventually get a collection of nice, neat little stitches on your Tunisian crochet hook. And at the end of your chain stitch row, you should have something that looks like this. So now we're going to start our pass back through the stitches to create our first row. Tunisian stitch rows work in pairs where you have one where you're pulling up all the loops and one where you're closing them all off. So you're going to start with a yarn over and pull through 1. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And you're going to do the yarn over and pull through 2 all the way back across. So the only time you're pulling through 1 is that first stitch. After that, you're always pulling through 2. And at the end you should be left with 1 loop on your needle. Now we're going to start our second pickup row. So On your stitches, you should see little vertical bars that are a pair of stitches. We're just going to be using the part of that bar that's in front. So you're going to insert your hook into that stitch, so in between those two pieces of yarn, yarn over and pull through to pull up a loop. Then you're going to do the same thing to the end of the row. So insert your hook into that stitch on the front, yarn over, pull through. You're going to continue that all the way through the end of the row. The last stitch of Tunisian simple stitch is a little tricky. So I've gone through my last vertical bar stitch, but I need to make one more on the edge. When you do that, you want to insert your hook so that it's going in between two stitches on the end. This is going to give us a nicer kind of V-shaped stitch on that edge, and then you pull through as normal. Now we're going to start our pass back row, so yarn over, pull through 1, then yarn over, pull through 2, and keep pulling through 2 until you are all the way back on the other side. Once you get back, this is what you should have. So you can start to see kind of that woven pattern forming. You're going to continue the Tunisian simple stitch until your soap saver is the length that you want it. I always use my hand to measure these, so I go from my palm to the end of my pinky finger to know when to stop. So that's probably like a good 4 or 5 inches. You can also measure it to the bar of soap that you want to put into the bag. So you're going to go ahead and finish up to the length that you want, and I will see you for the final steps of the tutorial. Alright, so once you get to this point, you are done with the main section of the bag. So normally to finish off a Tunisian crochet piece, you do normal single crochet through those vertical bars. So it would kind of give it an edge like that. But we're not actually going to do that because we're making a drawstring. So you can see that the fabric already has these perfect little holes in it that we can thread the drawstring through. So our next step is actually going to be to pull out some more yarn, cut it, and to sew up the sides of our little bag. So you can use a yarn needle for this, you can continue with your crochet hook, but you basically fold it in half and sew up along the two edges, leaving the top section with those little gaps open. Alright, and once you've got it sewn up, you should have a little bag that looks like this. You can see I still have the spots along the top to thread through the drawstring. For the drawstring, all you're going to do is chain stitches. I'm going to chain 60 just with a regular crochet hook. I'm still using my Tunisian one just because it's out. I generally find that double as many chain stitches as original stitches you did is the best length. So go ahead and chain your drawstring. And once you are done with your 60 stitches, I leave a little bit of extra string at the end to make it easier to thread through. And just pull your yarn through that final chain stitch. So you have a drawstring like that. I like to use a yarn needle to thread my drawstring through just because it's easier. Of course, right when I'm filming a tutorial, they decide to do yard work outside. Oh well. And then you're just going to go over under between those bar stitches from the Tunisian crochet pattern. So this is why I kind of like to use a yarn needle, because it's a little bit easier to get in between those. But you can use a crochet hook or even just your fingers to thread that drawstring through all the way around. Once you have that drawstring threaded through, then you are done. I like to tie the ends of the drawstring together because then you can hang it on a hook in the shower. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It would probably make a great gift for the holiday season. That's personally what I'm using it for. So if any of my family members are watching this, keep it a secret because you're going to see more of these. But I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everybody!